Music for global change is not just a statement, it's a movement. And Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and producer Skyler Jett is creating conscious music for a cause.
It's been a life-changing experience to create positive lyrics, where you take out the danger in the lyrics and use it to heal and educate. So my lyrical content isn't about my personal feelings. It's about how I help change the world.
Call it destiny, call it catching the bug. This Oakland, California late 50s baby was born into a musical family and knew early on he had found his calling. With his grandmother, mother, and aunt, all gospel vocalists, Skyler began honing his vocal skills as a young child in church, and by the age of 10, he had found a new love in jazz and rhythm and blues.
So I was raised by three powerful women that were, their life was music. I started singing in choir when I was a young guy, and then I just all the time I just kept singing. My aunt was head of the Presidio in San Francisco, which is a major army base, and she used to travel with Sammy Davis Jr. and Bing Crosby and Sinatra and all of them. She used to travel with them, Bob Hope and all them, back in the 40s, right? And so she was probably the most famous in our family at that time. She was the first black woman to be head of entertainment for the Presidio. So she brought a lot of these big people there, did concerts with them and everything, And then my two uncles, who were my mentors, along with my brother, they managed like a lot of jazz artists. Bobby Hutcherson, Woody Shaw, Michael Carvin, Pharoah Sanders, Gene Carr, Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds. The other one was my other uncle was a promoter for Ike Tina Turner. So I was raised around music all my life.
By age 13, he was performing on stages all over the San Francisco Bay Area and traveling up and down the northern states and Canada. Just out of high school, Skyler moved to New Jersey for 3 years, gigging up and down the coast, opening up for superstars like Bruce Springsteen.
I left Oakland when I was turning 18, and a group hired me. It was an all-white band called Night Shift, right? And they hired me, and I get out there and I start playing up and down the Jersey Shore. So all the New York tourists would come over there, you know what I mean? Start playing this place called the Stone Pony, and wind up twice opening for Bruce Springsteen. At that time, I had no clue who this guy was, and he was like a folklore around here, right? I had no clue who this guy was, and didn't know at that time that dude was going to turn into the boss. Now, our band was bad. This all-white band, just me, singing. And we would do tunes like stuff with Donny Hathaway, Someday We'll All Be Free. I used to do that song, right? And we wind up playing in Asbury Park, which, in the 60s had a huge racial riot. So here I am with a white band, and we're going to play this black club. And I'll never forget, these dudes were scared. They were scared. You know what I mean? Now, most of the time, I'm playing in white clubs with them. I'm the only black. So this black guy was at the club one night. He said, "Man, I want you guys to come out. I want y'all to come play my club." All black folks looking at, well, what the hell are all you white folks, right? You know what I mean? And we started playing, and we were so tight. And what happened was something remarkable. All the brothers and sisters started sending them to us drinks. So when we got off our set, nobody would have let us buy a drink. Blew their mind. This would have never happened. It was so beautiful to see all these white people go, man, it really shows you that racism is stupid.
In 1980, Hollywood called Skyler back to the West Coast, but only for a short time. From 1982 to 1983, he would pack up again to tour, but this time worldwide, replacing lead singer Lionel Richie of the Commodores and performing in over 32 countries. But this was no golden ticket. Skyler was at his wits' end financially. He was being evicted from his place, and took every last dollar he made riding buses around town auditioning for gigs. His music eventually ended up in the hands of the Commodores, and the next thing he knew, he was on a plane to Alabama to what he thought was a sealed deal, but soon realized he wasn't the only one up for the gig.
When I get there, I walk to my room, and I hear all these brothers just singing Commodore songs. I'm going, damn, the Commodores must be here. Now, mind you, I don't know none of the Commodore songs because I've been singing rock for the last two years, right? Straight rock, loud, all that, you know. They're auditioning too. And guess what? They know all the Commodore songs, okay? So ain't no way in the world I'm getting this gig. This dude goes, man, okay, here's a cassette player. Here's the Commodore's lyrics. Why don't you go study? And every time they come out, they go, shit, I got this gig. They was going crazy over me. There ain't no way in the world I'm thinking I'm going to get this gig. I went into that booth. So they put on 3 Times a Lady, and I started singing that song. I didn't even get through the first hook before they said, hold on. Next thing you know, I'm on my way to China. The first thing they said to me when I stepped in, brother, please don't sing no lyrics and stuff like that, man. Just sing the song like the way it is, right? What happened was each one of the brothers was going there, singing all kind of lyrics, trying to show what they could do, but not sticking with the melody. But I had no choice to sing the melody because that's all I knew. Just sing it straight, like Lionel. I didn't try to deviate. That's what they wanted.
There's no place like home, especially when you've been welcomed back as one of the finest first-class session singers in the business. Recording over 2,000 songs and working with countless producers and singers and accolades piling under his belt, Skyler became known as the most sought-out singer, songwriter, and background vocal producer in the music industry.
Doing records with this major producer, so I started doing like Whitney Houston's records, Mariah Carey, and all. I started doing all these records, you know. Then I arranged the backgrounds on I'm Every Woman on the Bodyguard, right? And then I started being a vocal producer and all that stuff like that. And I'm going along, and the next thing you know, shoot, a friend of mine called me up and said, come over here and sing on this song. And that turned out to be the highest grossing theme song for a film of all time. My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic. And I wind up getting the equivalent of a Grammy for that. That's pretty good for a welfare child that didn't have a father.
Skyler, throughout his musical career, always admired the works of his peers and those who came before him, and was uniquely inspired by 2 particular musicians, Marvin Gaye and Bob Marley, for their efforts in bringing attention to the growing global concerns and the state of being. But it wasn't until Al Gore was presented with the Nobel Peace Prize that Skyler acted on his inspiration, composing and creating a music video for his song, Think Green. It would become his catalyst for his social conscious music and movement.
The reason why this movement is so important to me is because I know what music does to the body and to your level of frustration and everything, right? I know what it does to you. And so now if we change the content where we can help each other instead of tearing each other down, that's going to bring the level down. If I can go and perform my social conscious music, then the next day go talk to a high school and a college. Go show these young people what the benefits of writing social conscious music.
Catastrophic events, hey, destruction of our planet, y'all, is what we have to prevent. That's right. Well, it's time for us to start making new choices for all that is worth right now.